As someone very famous once said, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Well, here we are today, ladies and gentlemen, the 8th of May, the heart of spring, and yet wintry and windy conditions here at Gander Green Lane this afternoon. But ne'er mind, after the wintry feeling in the 94th minute in Nottingham on Tuesday, spring in the step this afternoon for every U's fan, ladies and gentlemen, as our superb team bounced back with elan and alacrity and turned in a terrific 2-0 success, keeping the pressure up at the top of the table. 4 games to go now, ladies and gentlemen, just 4 games to go, and we're 1 point off the summit. So many twists and turns still to come, but anyone watching that game on the live stream this afternoon or on the highlights package to follow can only have had their hearts gladdened by another superb Sutton performance. Not just that, ladies and gentlemen, but 2 goals could have been an awful lot more, and I think we're all going to enjoy what can best be described as a thunderous, nay, fulminating strike by Donovan Wilson to secure the 3 points this afternoon, and of course add another £50 to the Strikers Are Key safe. And of course that's the reason why we are assembled here this afternoon, is it not? For draw number 19 of the Strikers Are Key saga. And how is that Strikers Are Key saga progressing? Well, quite slowly, because our old friend Miss Parsimony here, not just parsimonious, but some would say darn right obstructive these days. 8 consecutive failed attempts to open the safe, crack open Miss Parsimony and relieve her of her contents. And what contents this afternoon? Well, you may remember last week we had the princely sum of £2,250 in the safe. That went up by £200 for today's game. We obviously scored twice up in Nottingham on Tuesday, both strikers. That added another £100. And Donovan's fulminating strike this afternoon counts towards the total, which means on draw number 19, we have the enormous sum of £2,600 in the Strikers Are Key safe. Thanks, James. No one else is listening. Big question, of course, is who is it going to be? Who is going to be your draw maker this afternoon? Well, wonderfully, we have a familiar face for you this afternoon. We've never duplicated in terms of the blue-jacketed partner in crime on the Strikers Are Key stage. Makeshift though it is, of course, in the absence of the players' bar, and now lots of people hooping and hollering therein. However, we make do with what we have, and in a couple of weeks' time, yes, a lot of us hopefully will be back together again in this stadium supporting our wonderful team. But who's going to do the draw this afternoon for us all? Well, as I say, a familiar face. Someone who is the players' first view as they enter the pitch on match day. He's somebody who has been involved down here. Well, he tells me that his first game was way back in 1968. I'm sure he'll tell us more about that in a minute. But he's been ever present, really, as chief steward and lots of other roles as well since way back in the 80s. He's also the treasurer of the trust, which was set up, obviously, a supporters trust a number of years ago. He also runs a number of other fundraising schemes, including the goal sponsorship scheme, and he is our chief steward, one who today is looking rather splendid in his blue jacket. Welcome to the Strikers Are Key stage. In this hushed silence as £2,600 potentially awaits the ball that he's going to pull out of the purple velvet bag. Welcome to It's Rambo. It's Dave Rayner.
Hello, nice
Lovely to see you too,
yeah.
mate. So I was right, was I not? 1968, is that
First
right?
game,
Yeah.
Slough Town Amateur Cup. We won 1-0. Dave Hutchins.
Oh, nice, yeah. Dave Hutchins.
And I was a mere schoolboy then, which I still am now.
I'm sure you should have been a babe in arms at that point, surely, Dave.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, all the various roles that you've conducted, the steward role started when?
Stewarding all about 2000 something. Before being tunnel steward and chief steward, I was ground safety officer before Mike was, so for a year.
And of course we had Mike on last week, and
Yeah.
the view from the cabin, you're there surveying the scene.
That's right, yeah. You see a lot from up in the blue cabin.
You are obviously the focal point in the tunnel, and you obviously see quite a lot of the players' faces as they're coming on and off. What goes on in the tunnel stays in the tunnel, Rambo?
A lot of it does, yeah. It includes some of the language. I can't say who it comes from. And obviously you've seen some very famous faces down there. Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Even a lot of ex-players. Tim Flowers when he was managing.
Perfect. And your favourite game as a youth supporter? What would you say your...
I would say top of mine was way back in '93 when we went to Wycombe Wanderers in the FA Trophy semi-final first leg and came away with a stunning 3-2 win. Everyone was elated at the club. Unfortunately, Wycombe came here and beat us 4-0 in the second leg. Managed by Martin O'Neill, no less.
It was. I remember the day very well. It was a day we could have won by more than just the one goal, actually, wasn't it? And unfortunately, a two-legged semi-final, and we were undone in the second leg. And the day where, if I'm right, if you put your money on S&S and the Grand National, you'd have been disappointed.
That's right. It was
winning.
the Void Grand National.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
1993, a good year.
Yeah.
I got married in 1993, Rambo.
Did you?
And I'm still married, which is a miracle in itself, to the same lady.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
we digress. We digress.
do.
Sorry, we'll move away from that. Rambo, thank you for all your hard work that you do
That's
for us
all right.
here. It's greatly appreciated, because without the stewards and safety geezers, as you like to call yourself, we don't have a match, do we? So,
Yep.
well
No,
done.
and
Keep
I
it going,
couldn't
mate.
we couldn't run games here without the help that I get from fellow volunteers when I press gang them into doing the turnstiles, looking after the tunnel.
Well, that is what this
Yeah.
club is all about,
Yeah,
of course.
we're
It's
all
that
part of
heart
one big
soul,
family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the volunteers. That's what makes us what we are.
Yeah.
So, marvellous.
Okay.
Well, the job right now, of course, is a very serious one, potentially, because that fund is rising.
Yeah.
You know the ropes by now. It's all been beautifully clean. I've got a new pot of antibacterial gel type stuff. So everything is beautifully clean and ready for you. 50 balls in the purple velvet bag.
Okay.
Your first job is to
pick that
have a
one
good
up.
rummage around
Okay.
there and pluck one out at your leisure, while I look at my electronic item here to make sure that I've got all the numbers. Have a good old rummage around, because this is a big draw today, Dave.
Okay.
Away we go, and then
Cool.
point the
Got to get
ball
my hand in there.
at the camera.
Oh, there seems to be more than one ball in there, which is a good sign.
There are
Okay,
50. I
here
can
we
assure
go.
you. Ready?
And the ball,
Dun, dun,
lucky
dun,
ball
dun, dun,
number
dun,
is,
dun.
good luck to everybody, it's number 40.
Number 40, 4040. Number 40 is Daughters and Friend. Pat Carr, Shan Hermitage, Dave Fairbrother.
Oh!
They are the trio who could potentially win £2,600 this evening. Now, tradition has it that you now are going to be one of these three people. Which of these lovely three people would you like to be? Now, choose very, very carefully.
So could you
is
give
all
me
I would
you
say.
said Pat Carr.
So Pat Carr, you know who Pat Carr is?
Yes, I know Pat,
And you
yes.
know who Shan Hermitage is,
certainly
don't
know
you?
who
You know who
Shan
Shan
is.
Hermitage is very well, I'm sure, yes, as well. And you know who Dave Fairbrother is, don't you? So which of the three are you now going to be? Daughters and Friend. Pat Carr, Shan Hermitage, Dave Fairbrother.
Well, as she's standing very close to me, I shall be Shan this afternoon.
You're all going to be Shan this
Yes,
afternoon.
I'll
Under
be
normal
Shan.
circumstances, Shan would obviously come and do the job, but the job now is being done by you, because you are draw maker.
Okay.
So all she can do is leave you to do the
Yeah,
job
okay.
for her. So there are four keys
Okay.
in the green bag. Have a good old rummage around, choose one of them, chuck the rest over to me, and best of luck to Daughters and Friend, Pat Carr, Shan Hermitage and Dave Fairbrother.
Okay, I have picked a key.
Okay, the pointy bit to the top.
The pointy bit to the top.
If it's the
Okay.
right key, turn it to the left, and the wheel to the right, and then you are in luck. If it is the right key, £2,600.
No, it's not working, sir. I have failed miserably.
It seems almost impossible to say this, everybody, but I'm afraid this is the right key here. Of the 4 keys, it remains Miss Parsimony, and I'm really, really sorry to daughters and friend. I better just demonstrate that that's the case. There we go, and that is the open sesame. So where we are right now. God, this is even worse than watching the game, isn't it? Sometimes watching this. We are now rolling over to draw number 20 on Tuesday night against Woking. Don't forget that is an 8 o'clock kickoff, so it'll be quite a late strike as our key draw afterwards, but one probably that's going to be worth watching, because as a consequence of the safe not being cracked for the 9th consecutive time, and believe me, all 4 keys are in the bag, as you've seen, all 50 balls. It's the same chance every time we do it. Once again, the safe has not given up its contents, and we move on. So on Tuesday night, we have a minimum of £2,800, which will be up for grabs. And of course, all 50 balls have the same equal chance that they have every single time. Really sorry for the owners of ball 40 today. That's Shan and Pat and Dave. But we move on. Dave, thanks very much indeed for conducting the draw. Thanks again for all your hard work. What a great performance by the team today. This is a fabulous group of players and management team that we've got. Cannot wait to share this experience with everybody in a couple of weeks' time when Hartlepool visit us. In the meantime, keep going, keep that faith, keep supporting the team, and at all times be forever Amber.